Are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me think. I'm thinking of the way to start. What are we starting with?
I think you should just introduce yourself.
Literally, shut up. I've got it.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
Hi, everybody. You know me from very few things, but I'm here today because I was on Made It Out, and Mal and Matilde asked me to come and bring somebody that I felt would be best for a lesbian-specific, paid-for show. And I thought, well, who better than to bring my straight friend Bobby from Texas? So, Bobby, welcome.
Hi, I'm Bobby. I am a straight male appearing on a lesbian podcast network.
I think another thing that people should know off the bat is like the reason Bobby is here is because he is a supporter of the Made It Out podcast. Right, Bobby?
I leave a review every day at 6 p.m.
And
I make a new burner account every day to leave a new 5-star review.
And you unsubscribe and resubscribe.
And I unsubscribe and resubscribe.
And
I Venmo Mal and Matilde $5 every week, and I say, get yourself a little something for your good work.
So
get yourself a little treat.
You're
Listen, you're out here grinding. Go get yourself a scone.
So if you're wondering how you can be a better fan of the Made It Out podcast and the Made It Out network, first and foremost, Venmo at least $6 weekly, and also leave a review. So I think, Bobby, the best place to start is we read some of like our taglines for the show, and we kind of just try them on for size here.
Okay. A pair of best friends reach across the sexual aisle to ask the question, how can two wildly different lifestyles be so shockingly alike?
Okay, so my counter would be Lexi and Bobby have one thing in common. They are both gay. The only difference is one of them knows it and the other one is still pretending not to. And we leave that one up to the audience.
That one feels like it would have a negative outcome on my dating life, which is what I'm trying to avoid here. But it's also the most true so far out of the two.
Your romantic sex life is already suffering. Can it get worse?
No.
This is why, in fact, I think this is going to help.
I don't think it will.
Okay, next.
All right. Two platonic best friends, one straight male, one very gay woman, share their everyday struggles with navigating adult life, from their confusing careers to their dwindling finances to Lexi's refusal to go down on women.
That one you workshopped because that's not in my notes.
I want that one to be a little bit of a surprise.
First of all, don't have a confusing career. I don't have one.
It's fair.
Second of all, my finances are on the up. Third one stands true.
I just feel like I'm more of a feminist than you because I go down on women and you don't.
I don't go down on women because I like to look them in the eyes. Two friends with no benefits sit down to talk about life, love, sex, and why women won't date Bobby.
I think that's the one. I like that one.
I think we can go with that one.
Yeah.
And lastly...
Oh, there's more?
Lastly, because this one is like, I think actually this is the one.
Okay.
Bobby and Lexi have one thing in common. They are both attracted to women. The one thing they don't have in common is that women aren't attracted to Bobby. And I think that is, and Bobby, come on, let's show them, okay? The only way to get lesbians to love you is to show that you're just a delicate young man.
I think I could give a couple bits of recognition to the lesbian community and what they've done for straight culture. And that would start us off on a good note.
I think what we need to do right here, and of course I came prepared.
I like that you put it in a good bag
so
for
us. So I think let's both pick a shot and let's take one. Give it a shot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Give it a shot. See what you come up with. Compliment a lesbian. Compliment the lesbians. Compliment the LGBT community. Compliment being gay. Anything that is about the queer community, just compliment it. But first, a shot.
I don't like the feel of any of these.
Okay, just...
I got UV Sriracha, chili pepper flavored vodka.
Oh, I'm not doing it. I would trade you. I can't do a straight Tito shot. I will trade.
I'll trade with you.
Will you?
Yeah. That's the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life.
Give it a shot.
This is
What do you have to
stupid.
say to lesbians? Give it a shot.
I was going to say trucker hats. You guys have done wonders for the trucker hat community.
This is
but
I
we can't
smell
just be fashion based. I think that the LGBTQ
Bobby.
community,
LGBTQ.
IA plus, the community, you really have pioneered how strong a drink can be made at the bar. Like when I went to the Abbey, I ordered a Jack and Coke, and it was probably 7 shots of Jack Daniels, and he took like a mister of Coke and gave it like 2 squirts like he was watering a plant. And they charged me $13 for that, and it was the single greatest deal I've encountered in my life. And I owe the community for that.
Cheers to that.
The lesbians have saved me so much money. I don't want to drink this at all.
The lesbians have made me incredibly poor.
That's also true.
So this literally actually would be good on food.
This is just a room temperature. I also feel like they're making nips bigger than they used to.
That's what women say when they met me.
You do have huge areolas.
My areolas are massive. Like I will admit.
You know what? I think that's a foundational point in our friendship that we don't talk about enough is like probably right around junior year, Lexi just started constantly showing me her tits. And I think it's one of those moments as a friend that you cross, you go like, there's no going back from that. We can either move forward as better friends or we can let this ruin us. And when I saw her areolas, I said, this will ruin us. And you know what? I grew through it. And now almost every time we do anything, Lexi pulls one breast out for a picture or when we're out in public.
And my biggest problem with that is like, I just think as best friends, which we are, that if you've seen my areolas, I should know what your penis looks like. And I think it's insane that I don't.
You can take other people's words for it. And I need you to trust me when I say it's fine. It's certainly there. And that's the greatest compliment I can give it.
I love that. Thank you for your vulnerability.
Did you finish your UV Sriracha?
Am I supposed to finish it? Because are we finishing it? I guess we're finishing it, huh? We have to finish it, huh?
Yeah. All right. I think you should.
Tell me. Actually, okay, go.
You go.
No, you go.
I'm listening. I'm not talking.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
That was a good one.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We're both going to pull scissors the whole time. That is not a funny bit. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, Bobby, take it seriously. Okay, you win.
Okay, I think you should give everyone the rundown of how this friendship started and how we ended up here.
Okay. Bobby and I met in college, and Bobby was extremely socially awkward, actually just sat in his room constantly. Nobody knew who he was, what he was doing. He was on the men's soccer team, and I, guess it, was on the women's soccer team. Crazy that I'm gay. Bobby, though, he really had zero social aptitude. He didn't do anything. It took like pulling teeth to get him out. That's
fair. Yeah, that's right.
And we became really good friends. And we related just on, I think just like, what did we relate on?
It was like trauma bonding where you have such a good time, but such a bad time that I was like, oh, I think we just are friends now. And then every time we hung out, we realized something more similar about us, which is funny because of how different we also ended up being. But I don't know.
I don't think we ended up that different. And I think that the only way that would do justice to summarizing that is that Bobby and I both matched with the same person on a dating app, and I prevailed. Okay? And I think that there's no truer way to talk about a story than the fact that in COVID, I was dating a woman and I was really excited about dating that woman. Like, so excited. Like, also during COVID, like, and not to discredit this woman in the relationship, it was a blast. But like in COVID, we got excited about anything. I mean, people were like baking for the first time. And it was the most exciting thing that ever happened. So like I was really excited. And I said to Bobby, I'm dating this woman. And Bobby said, send pictures immediately. Not like, tell me more about her. And what are the things you love about her? Just send me pictures immediately, like a classic straight man would do. So I responded with pictures. And Bobby, he would not stop calling me. He texted and called me and called me and called me and called me.
And you didn't answer, which is so disrespectful to me as a friend. If someone calls you 6 times, answer.
I know.
Because I could have been dead. It didn't have to be about
you
who
weren't
you're...
going to be dead. You were calling me. Like, that would be weird. That'd be crazy.
Touché.
So anyways, I texted Bobby and I said, yo, can we, like, chill? You know, like, what? And he said, it's an emergency. You have to call me.
And
so
it
I
was.
stepped away from, you know, the girl that I was seeing. I stepped away. I said, what's up? And he said, Lexi, I matched this girl and I was supposed to be going on dates with her. And every time she ghosted me.
I think I may have said I was in love with her. I vaguely remember being like, Lexi, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I have tried to take her on a date so many times. And every time she's ghosted me, and she's currently in your bed kissing you. And that's going to ruin my life.
In all fairness, we were probably just talking like about our love languages or like our attachment styles. I think that is also another thing that you have in common with a lesbian. Like, nobody falls faster for a woman than you. It's like true. You matched on Hinge, saw one picture. She wrote like, I love music. And you were like, this is her.
She didn't even,
she is for me.
She didn't even write. She didn't respond. I just was like, hey, I'd love to take you out for a drink. And she didn't answer. And I was like, I love you. Which that's a whole other thing to unpack. But I actually think, again, the more we speak, the more I realize my lesbian tendencies is like, this woman truly did not interact or introduce herself to me. And I was like, we have a life together. And I was ready to move in and I didn't even know what city she lived in.
And it turns out it was Hermosa Beach.
I know,
with
that
me.
Sucks. That really sucks.
I think that is it. Our lives have come together, been apart. We've gone through all these things together. And at the end of the day, we're both attracted to the same women.
And those women are only attracted to Lexi.
Every week, Bobby and I are going to pick a topic and you're going to give your perspective and I'm going to give mine. And I think sometimes it'll be very different. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it'll be very the same. And we can almost guarantee every time it'll be very just average advice from two very average
Yeah, but if you
individuals.
combine them, I think you'll take away one very strong piece of advice.
Agreed. If you listen to them both with an open mind, there is something there.
Like when you combine Lexi's lesbian thoughtfulness with my straight male stupidity, there is...
We're going to have to cut to him on that. We have to cut to him on that.
I don't know if I can finish this.
No.
I do think today's theme should be your... I think today's theme should be your coming out story.
Okay.
Because also what a lot of people don't know is that Lexi, despite being like the queerest person I know, I never knew she was lesbian until she told me. And like, we had probably known each other for 8 years. And Lexi was like, I have a date with a woman.
Let's make it a question. So today's topic is Lexi coming out.
Right.
And Bobby finding out. Coming out and finding out. I think that's the best way to summarize it.
Sure.
So
that's our trailer. If you enjoyed and want to see more, make sure you subscribe at madeitout.supercast.com.
People, let me tell you about me, so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking sun to sun.